Okay. I just went back live again. May just leave this as the beginning of the thing since the last one was train wreck. So yeah, like I said last time, I thanked Motion Pro, and they have tools and parts and eMOTOcons. Nate, do you have eMOTOcons for bike emojis for your iPhone?
MotoCons?
eMOTOcons.
No, I don't.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Who's got the sound up? You got two things running, Nick?
No. I had you and I lost you, Nick.
Yeah, so I made a emoji for your phone where you can send people like a loop out Larry figure, and there's a throttle hand holding the throttle pinned and stuff.
Oh, nice.
There's a guy going over the bars. So.
Or tell me how to get them so I can get them.
You gotta go. Well, I'll get you a code for it, but it's in the App Store, just right on iTunes or whatever.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're here with and also Stroker Industries. They make the trigger. It's a self-venting push button like nozzle to screw onto your race jug so you don't spill it all over your new graphics.
Oh, gotcha. I spilled gasoline on a brand new pair of shoes about 2 weeks ago doing that same thing. That's a bummer.
What did it do? It flung out of the tank?
No, I filled the tank, my jug up all the way, so when I tipped it, it just started oozing. Got all over they were vented too, so socks were soaked. It was a bad deal. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so if anybody, like I said, if somebody is watching this and doesn't know who Nate is, then you found the wrong podcast somehow. Because this isn't yours. So,
is video also on the podcast, or are we just doing audio podcast?
Well, so right now it's live on YouTube, and then it'll be left up on YouTube, and then I do also just an audio version on like iTunes and Podcaster and stuff like that.
Nice. So we're live right now.
We're live right now on the interwebs. Cool. Yeah. That's actually, I watched Monster Energy Cup, and I tried to watch it on the website, their actual website, and it wouldn't work. And then eventually I found it on YouTube, and I watched it live on YouTube, and it was way better. The other one, yeah, from their own site kept like reloading on me, and YouTube was fine. I didn't get to see the Best Whip or any of that. No, I watched Straight Rhythm. That's what it was. Red Bull TV kept locking up on me. I didn't get to see any of Monster Energy Cup.
Oh, no. I've heard that I'll do that on Straight Rhythm because so many people are watching it. I'm assuming it just keeps locking up. But no, actually, yeah. Went and rode Best Whip and also just the Monster demos throughout the day at Monster Energy Cup. And then me and Bilko actually watched the first two mains. And we wanted to leave that night and, beat traffic and all that stuff. So we wanted to stay for the third one, but we were torn, and we hit the road and just followed the third main on Twitter. But it's good stuff, dude. Gnarly track. Really fast and really tech.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
Yeah, I heard they were, there was one section where they come hauling ass in, and then there was like some kind of rhythm section after like super fast straightaway.
Yeah, it was, they have always kind of have a straight in and out of the stadium. Well, they went out of the stadium on the east side this year, did a couple sections, came back in, and it was basically a 90-degree corner, and then two kind of like rolling singles they would just scrub, and pretty much scrub the second one, land, and kind of chop the throttle, and then bop, and they'd triple into a rhythm section. And actually at the second triple, that was really gnarly, and the in-between of the first and second, But it was a triple, but it was more like a quad because what they were tripling onto was, one of the tall singles, like I don't know, like 8 or 9 feet, a tall one.
Right.
And it was berm for the first corner.
Okay.
So, the first turn went through there. So it was a triple. There was only 3 singles, but it was like the distance of a quad. And it was just, they had to be so perfect, and they were coming in with so much speed off that straightaway with just 2 rollers in it. And it just looked like no room for error. Like probably fun to ride, but not fun to race, you know? And we got those, through Monster, we got those tickets to stand on that stand like in between, you know, the exit entrance of the track to the stadium. And so we were standing right there looking over the railing to the entrance of that rhythm, right? Tomac crashed right in front of us. Tyga went down. Bogle. I can't remember who he clipped the back of, but it was just, that was a race. I was like, oh my gosh, this section is insane right now. So it was, I mean, it was claiming, guys. It was crazy.
It was all in that same little area there?
That was all from the corner to before and to the landing of that second triple that was a quad, essentially. That was all from right there. It was crazy. It was that fast and tech.
Damn. Sounds gnarly. So anyway, I didn't ever introduce you guys. This is Turbo Nuts, or Nick. So I always have him on the, he's my co-host on the podcast here.
Cool.
What up?
Each and Nick, do you go Nick or Turbo Nuts?
I don't care. Just Nick is fine. We're not on the internet. Don't need to hide out.
Nice.
You're drinking beer, Nate?
Dude, I messed up. I came in the office with no beverage at all. I'm screwed. I'm going to be parched.
You're dehydrated.
Yeah, we just had dinner and got the boys fed, and I think my wife's going to have to put them down alone tonight. So doing a you got twins, right? Twinsies, yes sir. Identical boys.
How is that?
It's awesome. First 6 months is a blur, but
awesome. You're like a zombie.
Yeah, I know. They're becoming little boys now. They were a year and a half, turned a year and a half a week ago. I actually just got them like a big jungle gym today, put it all together, and right after dinner we let them out for the first time, and they're climbing all over it and going down the slides. It's a lot of fun. They're starting to talk a little bit, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
That's crazy.
A lot of fun.
Too. Yeah. Two boys too. Like they're gonna be just maniacs. That's how it always is.
Me and my dad were just talking like a week ago. Like, what would it be like to just wake up and get fed and changed and play all day with your best buddy? Just all day, every day, just palling around. So I hope they're friends for life. So I hear that happens with a lot of twins. So.
They got a bond.
What's that?
They got a bond.
Yeah, they do. It's very true. They got a bond. So
you're gonna have to take them down to the Action Village here in a couple years?
Yeah.
To Javier's house.
Why not? Their skills aren't fine-tuned enough for that joint yet. They got a little bit to go. Just started like their Strider bikes. Yeah. Barry Noble, right after the boys were born, sent me two Strider bikes from his sponsor. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I feel horrible.
I think they're just called Striders, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's a brand, and it's Barry Noble's sponsor. I'm drawing a blank. He kind of just didn't even say a word, just sent them to us, and I put them together, you know, and they really haven't had interest in them up till like a couple weeks ago. Now they're starting to walk around with them and stuff. So.
Nice.
That's huge, dude. I got both my kids Striders, and it's like they just take off instantly. No training wheels. Once you give them the next bike, you just make them ride that, and then
that's what I've heard.
They figure it out.
You got boys or girls? One of both?
I got a daughter and a son.
Nice. Very cool. You stopping with 2? We're done.
I don't know. That's what everybody asks. I'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 2 at the same time. That's like you're all in right off the bat.
Yeah, well, and twins run in my family, and they don't in her family. But how it happened, identical twins, it has to be the female's genes, is how it was explained to me. So it's basically her egg fertilized and then split.
Right.
And so it's in both our genes, so we're like, not 4? Oh, man. You're out.
Yeah.
4 to 2. That's rough. That'd be rough. But anyway. Yeah. So kids are fun.
It'll get more fun. It gets crazier.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. You don't have kids, do you, Clint?
No. Nope. I've avoided that.
Yeah. It's fun. Once you make the decision to go for it, it's pretty fun. It's exciting for sure.
I'll take your guys' words for it. That's what everybody says. Like, you need one of these.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, no one's saying that. It just comes up every time, I think, or almost every time.
Oh, does it? I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's all good.
Kids show up when they want to show up.
Little freeloaders.
Little guys, yeah. I know. It's been a year and a half, guys. How about some rent?
Yeah, do something. Jeez.
Well, he's got him on the strider bikes. He's gonna have him in the circus in no time.
Yeah, Javier already put his son to work.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he did his first show. He was jumping some like they had a big roll in on his BMX bike and stuff.
Oh, dude, that was a big setup he was hitting. I saw that.
Yeah. Well, I mean the little that you've dealt with Javier, you got to realize how he probably is with them. He's just like, do it or don't, like.
Yeah.
Well, you're here now.
Might as well be now.
Yeah.
If you had a kid, if you had a son or daughter, I guess, would you want him or her to ride freestyle, like pursue it as a career?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
That's that's the funny thing though, because that's what Javier always said. He's like, I don't think I want him to ride, and now look, he's got a friggin' jungle gym set up in the back for scooters, and bicycles. So
homemade jungle gym for scooters.
Yeah.
Places right.
Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna the thing is, you can want whatever you want, but I guess if they're determined, was there any stopping you, Nate? I know there was no fucking stopping me. Yeah.
Oh, there was no stopping me. There's nothing I wanted to do than dirt bikes. That was it. Like, I didn't want to play baseball. I didn't want to, which probably should have probably pursued.
Yeah. Believe me, now hindsight, I'm like, there's way better stuff I could have chosen.
Even if my parents would have been like, when you can buy your own bike when you're 15 or 16 and working, I still would have not ridden until then, but I would have had a bike and still pursued it, So, but if my boys are drawn to it, I mean, there's a huge part of me that'll be super stoked, and I'll be all in for them the whole time. But I just know what their future is going to be.
For?
Yeah, I know what they got coming a little bit. So, but if they don't, if they just want to ride for fun and then they kind of just do it leisurely, I'm totally cool with that too. Either way is all good with me.
Yeah, that's how you gotta be. Once you get too moto dad, you just burn them out, and then by the time I said, there's only a couple reasons that you get out of motocross or dirt bikes in general: money, injuries, pussy, drugs, moto dad. That's
big five. Is that what we're gonna call
That's it. That's the only reasons you would ever stop riding dirt bikes.
But it could be because a lot of time the injuries and you said pussy, but that's I consider that's partying, booze, getting off track, right?
Yeah.
So that can kind of be rolled into one, but I'm not going to split hairs, because a lot of people get hurt, and that kind of starts to spiral down.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Get hooked on the pills, and then that's the end of it.
They have free time to, they're not focused. They're just not doing it every day, and it's a slippery slope, man. So you start drinking, I've just seen it happen in a bunch of different fashions. But yeah, it's.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, the moto dab thing is a big one. I've seen, or not seen, but you just hear so many names that you thought were gonna light the world on fire, but then they just, when they're old enough to be an adult, the kid just wants to. Nothing more than to get away, Because he's already been since he was 10, just every day, all the time, doing this shit, So by the time he reaches an age, like you said, where he has his own decision, he's like, I'm over this shit. Something else sounds better.
Yeah. Well, and not even that something else sounds better. They're just so deep into it that they're just over it, Yeah. You burnt out on it totally and don't even care anymore. It's pretty shitty, I mean, it's whatever, I guess, but it's, I've had conversations with people about, talent and this and that, and I'm like, there are so many people around the world that are so talented on dirt bikes that we never hear of because of those 5 factors or whatever you want to call it, and just never make it anywhere. You've ridden with them, I've ridden with them, Nick's ridden with them, and you're just like, Whoa, that dude is gnarly, but
Yeah.
doesn't put it together.
Yep, I know, it's crazy. Even like all the people I grew up, the little I did race, but we went to practice days a lot and stuff. Just didn't race a lot growing up.
Uh-huh.
And now my dad, I get it's expensive, man. But all the kids that you thought they're like definitely gonna, do something at World Mini this year, or definitely go pro, and at least like be a main event guy or something. And it's one of those 5 things. It's crazy. And Moto dad.
Well, and I
can
guess
think of a couple kids right now from my childhood that I remember, because their dads were. Dude, I remember a kid getting yelled at. I remember I don't even want to say his name and everything, but his dad was laying into him after a race, and we loaded up, and I can't remember what I did. Not well. I don't remember having a trophy when my dad said this to me, but my dad like turned around in the van and like pointed at me and my brother, and he's like, "I will never, ever do that to you guys. I don't care if you didn't try. Like, I will never." Just scream in your face, like screaming in like a 13-year-old boy's face, throwing wrenches, just making a scene. It was crazy. And so that, my dad's like, I'll never do that.
Your dad's pretty rad, dude.
So it was good to hear that.
Your dad's pretty awesome.
Thanks, man.
The times that I've been around him, he's always been super. He doesn't know. Now, of course, I know him a little bit, but like he didn't know who I was when I very first ran into him. Like way, way, way back in the day, and he was just cool. So that's always good.
That's cool, man. Thanks for saying that. A lot of people. I'll even show up still to this day. I'll show up to signups, and it'll be like like Jane Dillum or Angela. One of the Rebel X Fighters girls that was there forever, and with Alex before that. I got a red button. Oh, Will at Enzo Racing. Sorry, bud. Got a red button. I'll tell you, Will. But I completely train of thought. Sorry.
Going to sign up at X Fighters. Going to sign up at X Fighters and talking about your dad.
Yeah, the girls will just be like, "Oh, is your dad here?" I'm like, "Oh no, he's at home." I'm like, "I'm 33 now. I don't need my dad." They're like, "Oh, they're also." I'm like, Paul Tabley will be like, "Is your dad here?" It's so funny. So cool though. My dad's a man. He's awesome. He had a heart attack like 3 weeks ago.
What?
He was riding.
Damn.
And he's on a trip with buddies, and then he drove home, and then called my brother, told him what happened, and then my brother's a fireman and an EMT, so my brother just came over and told him to get in the truck and took him to the hospital. He had to have just one stent put in, but that was it. So he's good now. The doctor cleared him to ride and all that. But,
while he was riding?
No, well, kind of actually on the way back to the truck, he just like started feeling really weak. He said, and his like vision went white, and then by the time he got to the truck, he just had to chill out for like a couple hours. He said because he couldn't see very well. So
wow,
scary. But he's doing really good. So
that's good. He seems like he's in real good shape.
He is for a guy his age. He's still active and stuff, but I mean, he had both his knees replaced 2.5 years ago, so that slowed him down a little bit. But no, he's the man. But he's just a little. I hope the heart attack. I've been laying into him for years, but he's just old school in certain ways.
Gotta be doing something.
Drink water a lot or eat anything organic.
Yeah.
It's at all. No effort. Drinks a pot of coffee a day, and so anyway, I'm trying to get him to switch some stuff up. So.
Well, and I've had that conversation that the issue with people our parents' age is that, and I'm pretty sure my parents are a little older, but the issue is that the way that they grew up eating is now no longer any good. Like all the foods that they've always eaten, pasta and blah, 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 at least in this country, have become so processed that,
Correct.
That's the issue.
When they're eating, like my dad wants to drink a gallon of chocolate milk a day. Like in his day, there was grew up on a freaking ranch farm in Lubbock, Texas. He was getting his own chocolate milk. You know what I'm saying? Like that was fun. He said he woke up every morning and drank a quart of chocolate milk first thing. And now that's like, wow, incredibly processed, pasteurized, whatever, pesticides and antibiotic hormones, and it's like that's bad for you. But yeah, to my dad, like, how is the water out of the tap bad for you? And now he gets it. There's chlorine in it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
What do they give you it to?
Fluoride.
Fluoride. And he gets it. And he's starting to research it. Like, this stuff's killing us, Nate. I'm like, yeah, I know that. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. I'm not lying to you.
Are we gonna go down this rabbit hole, Nick?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it, dude. I tell my dad the same stuff,
I just like,
and then he goes off.
Like my dad, I'm like, dude, just like drink a glass of water in the morning before you start into the coffee. Just get a glass of water in. Like that's the change I'm trying to make. Just instead of just straight to coffee, and then we go through for a ride, and he has a Gatorade, and then get back to the truck, and he finishes his coffee, and I'm like, dude, like, water. So anyway.
Well, does he think that they're trying to sedate us with the fluoride yet?
Sedate? No, I
you don't know about that. That
healthy substance we put.
That Hitler gave everybody fluoridated water before he started the takeover, like to sedate everybody so they'd go along with his plans.
I've never heard that.
It does. It makes you like docile. I got my dad on the whole fluoride kick, and now he's like got the filter, and he tells everybody you can't drink that shit. Like, because he takes it as like a personal attack against like his masculinity or something. Right. So he's like, no way, no fluoride.
We're gonna get Nate on the conspiracy theory train too.
Oh, dude,
I love them. They're excited.
On tour a few weeks ago. That's probably about a month ago now, maybe more. Me and Mace, in between a couple shows, Bo Bamberg. It's nice enough he let us stay at his house in between, which it was like a show in Oregon and another one in Washington, so we stayed at both houses in between. But we watched a conspiracy theory documentary called Zeitgeist.
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it, but I've heard it.
Dude,
I watched part of it.
Like have you ever seen Loose Change about the Twin Towers? Have you ever seen?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those. You're like, oh my gosh, you just can't even stop your mind from thinking of what. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those gnarly ones.
That's the thing. We're at such a level where let's say that stuff is happening. We would never know. We're at such a low level that we would never hear or know anything.
I think there's truth to it. I mean, I think like when people rag on our government and bag on our country, it really bothers me. It makes me mad. And, kneel in for the national anthem and all that, it pisses me off. But, like, I think that there was some level of involvement from our government, whether that's a few individuals, but I don't think our whole government was involved on September. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, the government's all in on this. Like, I think there's probably some level of corruption. A few bad eggs ruin the whole batch,
Well, how about if it was just
some truth to that stuff, but I don't get too heavily involved.
Well, how about if it was just ignoring the, signs or whatever? Because they had to have
the war that they knew would be extremely profitable for them. Like something like that.
They're surveilling so much stuff. How did they not catch any of this? Come on, it seems a little bit far-fetched that nothing got caught.
There's then those documentaries, or the people like Loose Change, that one guy who was being interviewed in the documentary and then ended up being poisoned at his favorite restaurant and dying. Like, this stuff is crazy that happens, and it's not on the news, and you don't hear about it. And that guy's testimony was gnarly. Before a plane ever hit a tower, bombs had gone off in the building he was at, and he was helping people with the firemen out the window to the ladder truck. And it's just that stuff's crazy.
But here's the issue is that everybody goes, "Where'd you hear that though? Give it to me from a credible news source."
Yeah, well, the guy's dead. He was poisoned.
What the fuck is a credible news source?
What's that?
Exactly.
What's a credible news source? The stuff on TV that's so filtered down and all follows a guideline? Like, I don't know. It's hard.
What's credible news? Yeah, I don't even know anymore. Right? Crazy.
It only took about 15 minutes to 20 minutes to get into this. I love it.
Yeah, we've been fast on this one.
We haven't even talked about motocross yet.
Have you raced recently or no? Because I know you were didn't you do Supercross for a little bit?
Yeah, I did. No, I haven't in a while. I was really hoping they were going to have Speed and Style in X Games this year and last year.
Dude, that was my favorite, Speed and Style.
Me too. That's my event, man. I love that one. But no, I haven't raced since 2015. Been a couple years.
Wow.
And what
do you remember coming out to that track in Joliet with the Rev.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
That was me and that kid.
Earlier.
That was me and that kid on the Suzuki racing, doing that speed and style.
Oh yeah.
And then I went long and blew my ankle out or whatever.
Yeah.
That sucked. It was fun though because I wanted to do speed and style forever, and then the Rev held that deal.
Yeah.
That was a good time though.
It's a fun event. It's a fun one, but yeah, no, I gave up on the Supercross thing in 2010. I tried another one, and then that was it. So,
what made
just
you
injuries, time, money?
What's that?
Just it's too many injuries from that type of stuff, or is it just taken away from making money?
First one I tried, I broke and dislocated my wrist just on a stupid accident, and the Supercross is gnarly, man. So yeah, I did that, and I was like, dang it, man. I missed some shows, and it's just another injury on the list, So next year I gave it a shot again in 2010, and then I missed Anaheim 1 by 1/100 of a second. I got 41st in qualifying, and then I actually did qualify in Salt Lake later that year, and I actually pulled off like 3/4 of the way through second practice and didn't ride third practice because I've been having trouble with my bike bogging so bad, my Yamaha 250S. And I didn't even ride third practice, and I was just trying to get it running, and then I just couldn't get my bike running any better. I was so mad, like fuming mad, drove all the way to Salt Lake and spent more money, all that stuff, and then I checked the list, and I made it, and I'm all, well, and then it started downpouring snow and rain, so I didn't even race, but it was pretty uneventful, but yeah, I made it. I did it, dude. It was sweet. And then I went to try again in 2011. I bought Hondas because I was sick of the Yamabog, and I wasn't sponsored by Yamaha anymore. I'd lost that sponsorship in like 2008. So bought Hondas, had what was it? Yeah, had Enzo do my suspension, paid for really good suspension, and then I paid who was it? 1110 mods.
Yeah.
1110. Anyway, yeah, I paid got like an $8,000 motor bill and was like really gonna go for it at A1 again. And first day riding my mid December, I rode my race bike and was just at the vet track at Paula. And can't remember how it happened, but I got a little squirrely and was riding the edge, and I just clipped an actual hay bale. It was on the side, and it bent my shift lever out. So I'm like, didn't have another shift lever, so I'm like, day's done. Took my bike back up to have the mechanic break it down, and like the shift rod bent and broke a bunch of stuff in the motor, so that I couldn't even use that motor at A1.
Oh man.
And then I had I can't remember what actually happened, but I crashed going through a set of whoops and dislocated a thumb like the next week after on my practice bike, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And that was it. I didn't try in 2011. So now Supercross is gnarly, dude. It beats you up.
I was thinking, did anybody, what was the full-time racers' attitude towards you? Do you think anybody was, taking you high a little bit during, practice or whatever? Or?
I never had any, run-ins with other riders in practice or anything. And no, I mean, it was pretty uneventful. The guys who I'm friends with were all, way faster than me, so I'm not a threat to them. You know, I just wanted to, I think Supercross is rad. I always have since I was a kid. And originally, for the little boy, the dream was to be a Supercross racer. But then I fell in love with freestyle, yada yada. I just wanted to do it. I still have racing in my heart, so I wanted to try it. And I never got any of that at the Supercross races, but I did race a Paris night race once, and I got second the first moto, and I was pumped with that. This local pro race. I'm like, all right, that was decent, and I was lining up for the second moto, and there was 3 dudes right to my left, just talking so much crap, basically blow me off the track and stuff, and I was just again had a "what are you doing" moment. I just rode the first moto. I know I've got the pace. I'm not trying to win an overall at Paris night races, so or Star West. Sorry, it was Star West, and. So I backed off and just loaded up and went home. So I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah.
Getting took out by a local yokel at Star West.
Yeah, exactly.
So all I wanted was just to see where I was at. Go get on the gate with some local pros and see what my speed was like. I just been riding Supercross practice tracks, and but anyway, that was pretty much the only case. case of that happening.
Yeah, I would go. I had a cut bike still. It was just a full freestyle bike, and I went to some track by my house in Georgia and was riding, and these kids started jumping this big thing, doing like fender kisses on the, the front fender and shit like that. And then I went out and I passed all of them, and then they stopped doing that shit. I just actually raced this last weekend.
Well, like me.
Huh?
You didn't go do any tricks over those jumps and show them up?
No. I figured it would be more embarrassing if I just lapped them.
There you go.
So I just went out and passed them.
Probably better.
Yeah, they were dejected.
Actually, I have had. It feels good to like go out to a supercross track or when I was trying it and have other guys be like, "Oh man, you're riding pretty good" or something. It was cool to hear that,
Yeah.
Most of the time, I didn't hear anything from anyone, but it would feel good when that would happen. But one time, I was at Michael LaPaglia's track, and I paid a little bit to go in, be able to ride it like a couple days a week for like 2 months, going up to Anaheim 1. And the LaPaglias are good people. Mike's cool. But anyway, Cole Seeley was out there. Team Honda. It was actually Team Honda's track, but they also let me kind of buy in a little bit.
Okay.
Anyway, Cole Seeley was out there, and there was a 90-degree left and then a main triple straight into a set of whoops. And I was doing laps, and like Cole Seeley waved me over, and it was pretty cool. I've done this ever since, and I even do this with knack-knacks now. But he was like, when you're in the air of a triple, if you have time before a set of whoops, he was like, kind of raise your feet up off the pegs and like tilt them out. So the inside of your feet are up against the frame. And when you land, it just kind of like mashes your feet, into the teeth of your pegs and really secures yourself to the frame and the bike.
Yeah.
And then squeeze, like normal and go through the whoops. And I did, and it was like a world of difference. Just how good grip the bike, So that was really cool when guys like Cole Seeley, who didn't have to do that, and is out there with the Honda truck and all that, and, pulled me over and be like, yo, try this.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, Cole. Appreciate it, bud.
That's the
so
thing.
Now I do knack-knacks. I just, with my left foot, I just do that. Going into the corner before, I'll just stand up, tilt my foot in, mash it down, sit down with some weight on it, and then I'm just like really secured to the peg when I do a knack.
That's such a good tip.
Yeah, I never thought like that.
I've never heard that. That's the thing, like, we don't even know there's so much stuff that they're doing that we didn't even think of.
Yeah.
You know what
Dude,
I mean?
You want to know what I used to do was hook my foot under a shifter, which I do for no-handed flips still to this day. But
for knacks?
What's that?
For knack-knacks?
For no-handed flips.
Oh.
And knack.
Well, because if you do it for a knack, then you can't twist that much, right? Because your whole foot's against the...
For an upside knack, yeah.
Right.
So I was like, I was sick of being like, well, my flip knacks are actually more tweaked out than my upside knacks.
Yeah.
But I actually learned that. I was at Mike Metzger's back in the day, riding at his place, and he had a supercross track there. And Eric Sorby was riding the supercross track while I was riding the ramps. And he started doing like big knack-knacks off the triple.
Uh-huh.
And ended up talking, and he just told me, he's like, oh yeah, when I shift up to jump the triple, he's like, I just leave my toe under the shifter. And I started jumping like that, and then I just started flipping with my foot under the shifter, and then like in one day I learned one-handed flips, no-handed flips, knack flips, can flips, just from having that little trick.
I tried that once or twice, and I was just nervous I was going to let off it, and it was going to like miss the gear or something.
Yeah.
I guess it would just be in that next gear once you let off of it.
Yeah, and there's that in-between, too, when you shift. But I always just, like, I made my leg, my left shin and calf, like, sore, brutally sore from just
pulling
jumping
so hard.
That, just getting used to riding like that.
Yeah.
So I was having these pain. It would wake me up in the middle of the night, and I'd be awake for, like, an hour or two and just have to take ibuprofen. My left leg would be, like, throbbing. It's like I had, like, shin splints or something from just trying to, like, master riding like that. And then I told that to my roommate at the time, Ryan Morris, who recently retired from Supercross. You know who Ryan Morris is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he just do straight rhythm?
He did. I didn't see how he did, though, where he finished.
I didn't either. I thought going into it, they said he may have been the dark horse for it, and then I didn't really hear very much. And what's his name was doing really good? The guy in the Husky. Sipes.
Yeah. Life's just cool.
So what happened? Ryan started hooking his shifter as well?
Oh, yeah. So Ryan's like, he's like, oh, yeah, I do that. I told him that. He's like, I do that going into whoops. Because he was actually, it was kind of around the time 250Fs. All the manufacturers were having their guys ride on Supercross. It wasn't just Yamaha anymore, you know?
Uh-huh.
And Ryan had two-stroke rides, and then I can't remember what else he had, but at that time. But they ended up riding Troy, which he had his best years with. And it was cool to, you know, be tied with him. But he went to Anaheim one. I can't remember what year, like 06, 07, something like that. It was a privateer. He just bought Suzuki's and loaded them up in his pickup truck. Went anyway. One of the Red Bull guys got hurt the first round, so in the second round, Ryan got the Red Bull KTM ride, but he had to ride a 125.
Okay.
KTM only one without 250F. Remember that? And so he would tell me he'd do that on his two-stroke 125 through whoops. He'd shift up going in and leave his toe under, and that would just really help him, you know, stay planted with the bike and try to stay on top. So
that's cool gnarly because I mean, and I'm not really that good in whoops, but pretty sure you're supposed to try and get as far back as possible. I guess it's you know, just to absorb it, like on your feet, like closer to your toes, you know, or at least the balls of your feet, just for that little bit of flex there.
Yeah. I mean, it would feel a little bit awkward, but I mean, he made it work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. One time I was doing an arena cross and Charlie Bogard was there. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah.
And he goes, we said, hey, what's the key to the whoops? And he goes, whatever. He's like, turn the corner, click third, hold it wide open, wheelie the tall ones. I was like, thanks. That was not helpful at all.
Yeah, that broke nothing down for me.
So you said you didn't race as a kid?
A little bit. I'd say we'd race a couple times a year. But never did any amateur nationals or anything. Just local stuff around Phoenix.
That's what I tried to qualify for Loretta's. I missed a moto at my regional, and then I was like right on the cusp anyway. It's not like I was lighting the world on fire, but I missed a moto, and then my parents were like over it basically. They were like, that was
the moto. What do you mean?
Like I fucking missed. I asked somebody. I said, "Hey, what moto are they on?" And he told me, and he was fucking wrong. He was like 4 off. Yeah, so I'm sitting there, and then I hear them announce my moto, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So then they were just all mad. So,
yeah, dang it.
That was kind of when I was getting older anyway, so then just once I turned 18, or actually once my friend turned 18, he was a little bit younger than me, we just started going to all the East Coast Nationals, which at the time was like 99, 2000, 2001. There was a ton over here. You know, it was Unadilla, Binghamton, Budds Creek, High Point. Those are basically the close ones. But we also went to Troy, Ohio one year. But I didn't ever. I was horrible at starts. No, I got caught in the gate at. That was just my own fault. I got caught in the gate at Binghamton, and then finished 2 positions out of qualifying from stuck in the gate. And then at Bud's, actually, I had a good line. I would line up all the way outside, and Bud's corner at the time was up on the hill, and you would come in, it would be right, left, like real quick, and you turn, drop down this hill. Well, from all the way on the outside, everybody would bunch up inside, and I could just hold it wide open around the outside of them, and then all of a sudden I'm inside at the next corner. So I ended up like scooping everybody up into like top 10. And I'm fighting with somebody, and then some guy, like, you know that super gnarly off camber at Bud's?
Aren't they all super off camber?
No, well, there's one that's literally like, you're thinking at the bottom of the hills. Those are bad, but there's one that's actually around like just a total off camber hill. Like that's the whole corner. You can go all the way down to the bottom and just catch a little wall. But most of it's super off camera, and the dude just cut across and run into me. And I was like going into the hay bale in the inside of the corner, and I was like, I'm just gonna cut to the inside of it, and they had cut this drainage ditch out, and I dropped like in this like 5-foot hole or something. So, what the hell is that?
Are you remixing this?
I don't know.
That was my mix right there. Cut straight across, and then it went silent, and then it started doing that.
Whoa.
So I missed your story. Sorry.
That's right. You run into me. There was a drainage ditch that I fell in.
Oh.
And there was another time that, High Point, I passed the last guy for the qualifying position. Yeah, why do we got an echo now?
I don't know. Can you hear that, Nate?
I can't hear an echo now.
Wonder if it's my,
You know what happened? We brought those conspiracy theories, and now they're shutting us down.
Oh, fuck.
Affecting our signal.
Remember when, what's his name was talking about the CIA, and then it cut out instantly last time?
Yeah. At least there's probably 4 people watching this right now.
3, dude, 3.
I really don't know how to
Nate, every
fix
time I
that.
look over at you, I see that hand in your background, and you look like Hulk Hogan, like looking for the crowd. The noise.
You got an echo on your side, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it on hold and then play again or something.
All right.
Oh.
I muted the microphone. Well, there you go. I didn't get any.
Hello?
Yeah, it's my Skype for some reason all of a sudden. Yo, do you got an old Showtime helmet on your wall, Nick?
What's that?
Nick's got a Showtime helmet.
Hell yeah. I got a couple showtimes. I got that one.
Oh, nice.
I got the Troy with all 4 on it.
Lift it up. We're just looking at your wall that's got paint marks.
I got this one.
That's not a Jeremy McGrath helmet.
I almost off myself in that one. I slept for, I think it's 2.
I try to get rid of those.
Look at Ronnie Mac that one on accident.
There you go. That's a McGrath helmet.
Yeah.
That one was something. But I didn't have the money for a new helmet, so I kept bringing it. Check this one out. That one's signed.
Nice.
By who? Jeremy?
I had to show
Yeah, Jeremy.
around 125.
He was at Redbud, and I had that helmet and the other one. And then Jeremy's like, "I'm gonna leave." And my dad's like, "No, we gotta get these signed." He goes around back to that's when they had the box man. Like, Jeremy, you gotta sign these. And he did. It was cool.
Let me call you guys right back, see if we can get rid of this echo.
Okay.
Damn echo. It's definitely my Skype, though. Join call.
I can hear myself talking to you.
Oh, really? You got the echo?
It might be my phone.
There you go. Fix it, Nick.
Well, I still hear an echo. I gotta hang up.
I got an echo, too.
I'm gonna hang up.
Alright, let's see if it goes away. Now let's see. Nope, I still got an echo.
I got no echo here. Echo free.
Well, that's good.
Well, man, good for me, huh?
Yeah, that is very good. The problem is our audio, everybody else is going to be like, I hate you. Not you, us, or me.
Sorry.
So they won't hate you, they'll just hate me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's my phone, Nick.
I still got an echo. I don't know what it is.
Well, so what else do you have going on, Nate? Are you still doing Deft, right?
Absolutely.
How's that going?
Cruising right along, man. Yeah. No complaints. So actually, I have some new stuff on the horizon. I can't really say anything, but I'm really excited about it. Excited for next year and the rest of this year too. But yeah. So I think kind of what I've been working for since '08 is kind of not just instantly gonna pay off. I'm gonna be everything I wanted it to be is, but I think I'm getting the help that I need and the right businessmen in place to help grow the brand and just get it into more people's hands and better everything, just a better ran business. So it's hard to do.
Are you expanding the offerings?
What's that?
Are you expanding your product line?
Yeah, that'll definitely happen for sure. So,
nice.
But I just really can't say anything right now. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing's been signed yet, but it's all in the works. So
awesome.
I'm really excited. So, yeah. What's that?
So what a tease.
I'm sorry. I wish I could. I wish this podcast was in another couple weeks, but yeah, I just feel like I got the right people in place and people that are as motivated as me and love the brand as much as me and have the same vision. So, yeah, it'll be good.
Are you guys with any distributors like Tucker Rocky or anything?
No, we're just when we have our shops. Like one of our first shops is AEO Power Sports in Peoria, Arizona. My good buddy Jeremy Sisson runs that shop and owns it. And we still have our key brick and mortar places, but we're mostly direct to consumer.
That's what I thought, because I've never seen it in anybody's catalogs.
In what? Sorry?
In anybody's catalogs.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna be like a Tucker Rocky or Parts Unlimited or anything.
I'm really trying to figure out my echo issue. That's why Nate can't hear me sometimes, because the echo's cutting it off or something.
Yeah, it's kind of spotty sometimes when you talk.
Damn it, Nate. So why don't you get yourself like a 2000 RM250? Because I know that you were really a fan of those.
Oh, dude, those things were tanks, huh?
The first time I ever saw Nate ramp to dirt IFMA, and he's got this Suzuki with that big Piper sticker on it, that I was scared to death for him when he rode it.
Piper Performance, dude. That was the local mechanic, Cliff Piper.
Yeah, that thing was clapped though by the end of tour, and I remember you were just.
Oh, dude, that thing was done. That thing was done before I put it on the truck for the start of tour, dude.
You started it up, and I'm like, he's not riding that, right?
Dude, I knew it inside and out. She'd be alright. Oh, man, I just had to ride. Had to go do it. I only had, that very next year, I saved up enough money that year, I bought Honda the next year, 201 CR250.
I was there for the last event. The last event that year, you ghost roaded every ramp like 4 times.
Yeah, off the back of the lane. It was done, dude. I was burying that thing. You remember Olsen when that ghost roaded and it rode all the way to the base of like the hot seat where the person in first would sit, and then Olsen started shoveling dirt on top of it. Oh, I was cracking up. The thing was done. Just bury it, dude. I don't even know what I did with that thing. Like, I don't know if you can even sell a dirt bike like that. You know?
It's probably not wise.
a clear conscience. I can't remember what I did with it. But anyway, good times. 99 RM250. It went the distance, dude. It lasted.
Somebody else had a super clapped out bike.
Did you say someone else had a really clapped out bike?
Yeah.
Jimmy McGuire, maybe?
I don't know. I remember somebody, we finished a tour and they were like, I'm not riding this either.
That might have been, Jimmy's weren't that, he maintenance his bikes. He just never washed them or changed tires or anything. Just a good old Oklahoma boy, he didn't care.
I feel like it was probably Olsen.
What's that?
I think it was Olsen. He had that bike with the yellow spray painted wheels.
Yeah. It looked like it had like Tonka truck wheels or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we got this echo, I'm just gonna finish it here. But we will have you on again, Nate.
All right.
As long as you'll be on.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for being on, dude.
Yeah, no worries. Well, ride safe, guys. Keep her on too.
Yeah, we won't talk about government conspiracy theories next time, so they don't mess our feet up.
Stick to action sports. Let's really cover the big five next time. Moto Dad. I will not be a Moto Dad ever.
All right.
All right. Thanks, dudes.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.